I don't know. I'd be flattered if there was comparisons, because I think he's a heck of an athlete and he's a heck of a coach. So I don't know. I'll let other people draw parallels. I'm just excited to have him. You know, I was really good friends with Tim. I think he did some really good things here, and but I'm also really excited about the future with Fred. And you know, we're going to be on a similar track, trying to get these two programs to where they belong, and I can't wait to watch them work.
Whose idea was it for you to come up in the elevator with them?
I don't know if that was planned or not. I just went up. They invited me up to see him in Bill Moose's office before they went to the press conference. I walked over there with him, and next thing I knew, I was on an elevator. So I wasn't trying to be in the posse. I was just excited to see him.
Is it surreal for you? Kind of, you know, a little over a year ago, you're going through that, and now you're on a different side of things.
Yeah, everything looked kind of the same. It gave me some flashbacks, but yeah, he handled everything well, and you can tell how polished he is, and you know, his track record speaks for itself. So I'm excited to watch him practice.
Troy talked a little Monday about the defense kind of giving it to the offense, and the offense doesn't bring it to a game. What have you seen from the defense? Have you been pleased with the progression they've made? Yeah, we've made improvements everywhere. I think probably the most noticeable improvements have been on defense, just watching the guys run around, make plays, and that's year two stuff. Instead of wondering if they're doing the right thing and being hesitant, they know what they're doing and they're going full speed and running to the football. And it makes a big difference. That being said, we had a competition day today and the offense won today. So it was great to see kind of a response from the offensive side of the ball, because defense has been getting the better of it all spring.
Scott, in the part that we saw, there were a couple guys, Maurice, JD, Cameron Jones, that weren't around. Is there any any insight? No,
Maurice didn't practice today. You know, I told you guys he'd be a limited participant and nothing to report. He just didn't practice today. JD's a little banged up, and we're trying to protect him. Cam's working through some academic issues right now.
Troy's talked about Brody Belt the other day, about how much progress he's made this spring and what he's done. What did he say?
Yeah, Brody's been a pleasant surprise watching him compete out there. He's made some big plays for us on offense through practices. Just a great example of a walk-on that's getting his opportunity, and he's made the most of it. So it's been awesome to see him step up, and he's been one of our better running backs through spring ball.
How have you seen Alex Davis kind of grow in this second year in this defense? He's a fifth-year senior. Do you see a sense of urgency with him?
Yeah, I think urgency is a good way to put it. They call him Ace. Alex is, you know, he was around the ball a lot last year. He had opportunities to make a lot of plays last year, got a lot of snaps. Sometimes the plays were there to be had, and he just didn't quite make them. Starting to see him make those plays this year in spring ball. We need him to be a player for us, so hopefully he continues on the trajectory he's on, because he looks a lot different this spring than he did last fall, in a good way.
There's always been a lot of talk about kind of drop-offs in effort or energy at this point in spring practice. How do you think your team's handling that so far?
I haven't seen it this year. We've had a couple little lulls. You know, maybe the defense didn't come out with quite the same intensity today as they did earlier on in spring, but they found it. Last year, the drop-off happened quick. It was 3 or 4 practices, and then they, I think, kind of reverted back to their practice habits, and it didn't look very good. We just continue to be on the rise now. I think today is probably overall the best practice I've been a part of in Nebraska.
How so?
It's just clean. It's year 1, year 2 stuff again. Year 1's I lose my voice every practice, trying to get guys lined up, to do the right thing, to play harder. When a head coach can get the team to a point that I can just sit back, blow my whistle, and watch practice, we know we're getting somewhere. And that means I don't have to coach effort, that players are coaching each other. They're fixing things so coaches don't have to. The work ethic's there, and we're getting closer. So it's a lot easier to coach that type of team.
Scott, what are Andre Hunt's strengths, and what's allowed him to sort of rise up and play with the time?
Andre, when he's doing things the right way, is super talented. He's got really good speed. He's got good hands. He's a competitor. I've said this a bunch, but he just needs to keep being more and more consistent. You see him make some plays, and then he'll run the wrong route, or you see him make some plays and he drops the ball. He's gotten better and better as spring's gone along, but we need him to be one of our reliable options out there.
How's Wandale handled kind of going back and forth with different positions and options in terms of formation?
Yeah, Wandale is going to know it all. Learning the offense isn't going to be an issue for him. He's one of those guys, not only does he know what to do, but he finds a way to make the job work within the play. He's just a very smart and instinctual player. He's been hampered by a little bit of a strained hamstring, so he hasn't quite been at full speed, but he's still making plays out there less than 100%, so we're excited about him.
Scott, we talked to Noah Federal the other day. How much progress has he made this spring with all the experience he has with your offense?
Yeah, our quarterback group looks light years ahead of where it was too. Adrian might have had his best day I've seen him have today. He made some big time plays today, but behind him all those guys have gotten better, and the quarterback room looks to be in a lot better shape right now than it did the same time last year. Noah's playing well. Munchie's getting better, Master's getting better, and Luke McCaffrey's done some really good things coming in. So hopefully there's a lot of guys in that room that we can count on to go in and win a game for us.
You have Bill Snyder coming in this weekend for the coaching clinic. What went into the decision to want to bring him? It's probably the first year he's been available. But what do you appreciate about his coaching style and the way he does things?
I don't think Bill Snyder gets enough credit. If you ask me who the best coach in the history of football is, I'd say Coach Osborne, but I'm biased. But the job Bill Snyder did at Kansas State is unbelievable. Taking a program that hadn't won at all and turn them into a perennial winner. He's got to be up there with some of the greatest coaches that have ever been in this game. And on top of that, he's a good person. I got to know him when I was my year at Kansas State, him and Sean and their family, and have a lot of admiration for him. So to get a guy like him up here is pretty special for us.
Scott, the one state, one heartbeat shirts that are being sold at the spring game, I guess what does that mean to you personally that you're helping the people of Nebraska that way?
Well, if there's any state that can handle difficulty and tragedy, it's this state. I'm a Nebraskan. I've seen it my entire life. People helping each other, people overcoming difficulty. We have a saying on our team, one team, one heartbeat. We want everybody to be working in unison, making every decision based on what's best for the man next to him. That's kind of how Nebraska is. And I think there's been hundreds of stories that I've seen and heard about people helping each other to get through what this state's been through. And there's very little we can do, but we're going to do whatever we can to help.
Great.